the live visuals that we're getting, the body of Ajit Pawar, of course, wrapped in the national flags. We know that he's being cremated with full state honors today. We can, of course, see these live visuals. In the national flag, and we know that he is being cremated with full state honor today. Ma'am, if you could just go back to please completing your thoughts.
As I was saying, it's just a very sad day. A huge loss again for the family, for the state of Maharashtra. But I guess I've answered the question, most of it, that the loyalty of the Maharashtrians, the people of Baramati especially, for some time at least, would stay with Ajit Dada, and it is not going anywhere soon.
All right, ma'am, I would please request you to stay on with me. I would like to go across to Miss Raj Lakshmi Pandit. Ma'am, of course, I would like to ask you the same question. We know that Baramati is, of course, the Pawar family stronghold, and it's the home turf of the family. Do you think with the loss of Ajit Pawar, there's going to be some sort of, weakening of the party in this area in Baramati?
I don't see that happening.
This is how I learn AI in 20.
Yeah, I don't see that happening because there are so many tall stellar leaders who have been they come with a lot of experience, and if you look at it, that they have actually they have had they have faced so many elections, they have done so many works together, and they have been a part of so many different governments also. And if we could draw any similarity, I would actually say maybe make some comparisons with, say, perhaps AIADMK and what happened to it after the death of Ms. Jayalalitha, who was, again, she was this magnanimous, huge, tall leader. And but at the same time, the party faced leadership crisis mainly because there was also, she did not have an immediate family. That was again another problem. Especially this problem comes when it comes to regional parties. Maybe I would say that maybe only the BJP is a party where you don't have these kind of issues because it's not like a family-based party. So whereas if you look at parties, regional parties, most of the time it is the family that holds the entire party together. So here, in the case of the NCP, it is a family-based party again. So there you have Sharad Pawar ji, so you have Supriya Sule ji, and here with Ajit Pawar ji, you have his family. Like I told you earlier, his wife Sunetra Pawar, she is a Rajya Sabha MP, and Mr. Parth Pawar also is politically active. He has also contested in the previous Lok Sabha election. So then it would be very easy for them to take over the reins. And I'm sure that with all their political experience and maturity, actually Praful Patel ji and Thakkare ji, like even now, right now, if you look at it, they are representing the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So then I think that they would all definitely come together and keeping the party intact. In fact, there would definitely be a huge push towards bringing the other factions together also. So that there is a more possibility of that happening than they going apart. So because they have all been here a part of the Sharad Pawar faction, but then after taking this huge political risk of coming away from under his shadow, I'm saying political risk because obviously, Sharad Pawar ji had all the sympathy of the breakaway of this entire huge faction. So, but in spite of that, even though they did maybe had a little bit of a glimmer of success a glimpse of success during the Lok Sabha election, but even then, that was not too much. But then during the Vidhan Sabha elections now last year, they completely lost the plot. So if you look at it, Ajit Pawarji found so much more success. Like I said, 41 in numbers, in contrast with only 10 for the Sharad Pawar faction. So obviously, they don't have too much of a say here. So Supriya Suleji will definitely not be able to maybe have too much of a say there. But even then, with all the emotional factor or with the kind of bond that they have shared, she will also find a place of prominence. But then I don't see the party by itself going into splinters or like what is happening in the AIADMK. So that would be a situation of what you are talking about right now. But I don't see too much of a possibility of that happening with the NCP right now here, because they are definitely going to stay together. And if they want any kind of a future for themselves, I don't think that breaking away would make too much of a sense for them, because all said and done, facing elections without this huge cadre, without a huge support of the political party, that is not an easy task. So they have actually, with a lot of effort, they have created all the organization. They do have an organizational strength all over Maharashtra and in other states as well. So I don't think that they would want to lose it now. So I don't see any possibility of them splintering away. But on the contrary, they may come together. But there definitely are questions of leadership, which I'm sure that they will sort in the days to come.
All right, ma'am. With that, I would like to go across to Mr. Shekhar Vijayan once again, sir. Of course, you know, Ajit Pawar served as a deputy chief minister 6 times in various governments. You had him in the government of Prithviraj Chavan, you had him in the government of Devendra Fadnavis, as well as Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray. With that, how do you assess his political legacy?
Like we just said, he's handled it under multiple governments, under multiple ministers. He's handled all of them with so much of acumen. See, one thing which stands out in Ajit Pawar's political tenure has been his adaptability, the fact that he's connected with the masses, and growing from the grassroots level. That is one. The third thing is, he was able to work in different governments, coalition governments which where they had their own party, or they were working in different parties. So his collaboration skills, his coordination skills, his ability to work with different minds, and also the kind of discipline he had, the kind of ethos he had, which is coming from the uncle, coming from the party, has really made a difference. Because if you noticed, with what happened yesterday, the unfortunate death, you have people from all political classes coming in and expressing what they feel. You have opposition parties, people who used to fight politically, also speaking a good word about it. Yeah, even as the most aggressive campaigners, which just goes to show that he's a very seasoned politician. Which just goes to show that this is a person who's very adaptable, very flexible, understands grassroots politics very well, understands the local party workers at the booth level, and he would have been a boon for this party during election time because of what he's done so far. So I think his death is a big loss to the party, not just to the party, to Bharat and to India too. We have lost a very seasoned, a very adaptable, a very flexible, and a very disciplined politician. Somebody who also had an uncanny sense of humor. So I think this is something which you'll never get off the shelf. This kind of leadership. This is something which is really built in. This is something which is built in over a period of time. And of course, that loss is a big void because of what really happened yesterday in the last 24 hours. I feel the only way out here is going to be for the family to get over this. They need to grieve this, because this is a very personal moment for the family, and this is also where the senior leaders of the family, that is somebody like Sharad Pawar, comes in and takes control, and also rubbishes all the rumors around anything so far. So I think that's important, and that's what is really going to be important here, because this is a moment where for everybody to stay united and for everybody to give the family their moment of grief. And like I said earlier, I think this gentleman is very seasoned, very flexible, very adaptable, and we lost, and it's a big, big loss for India.
All right, so with that, I would like to go across to Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah. Of course, ma'am, Ajit Pawar served as an opposition, as a deputy chief minister, in 6 governments, 6 different governments across political spectrums. You know, you had him with the BJP, you had him with the Shiv Sena, UBT, and you also had him in the Congress party as well. With that, how, in your opinion, how would you assess his political legacy, given that, you know, he had served as a deputy chief minister? He was, I think, one of the longest serving deputy chief ministers in Maharashtra ever.
So, you know, as you said, Ajit Pawarji served 6 terms as Maharashtra's deputy chief minister. And yes, that was the most by any leader. He was holding key portfolios at that time. He held finance, planning, irrigation, water resources. He represented Baramati Assembly constituency from, I guess, 91 to 2024. He turned it into a you know, political stronghold with repeated electoral victories. You know, for Baramati, when in 2023 the NCP was split, he led that as well. He aligned with the BJP and Shiv Sena at that time. He won around 41 seats in that elections and became the NCP president, all with his hard work. He modernized, you know, the Maharashtra's cooperative sectors that included sugar mills, that included milk unions, banks. The agrarian economy was boosted by him at, you know, at a very high level. You know, Ajit Pawar's legacy is so much. You know, he has done so much. Today, you know, we don't speak of all this very often because, you know, there is always this political debates of who did what and, you know, how much, you know, was done by whom. But you know, as a political leader, as a people's leader, he has actually done so much today. If we think about it, he's actually done so much over the decades. You know, he launched initiatives like Shakti Abhiyan.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we're just seeing these live